Pep Guardiola has always been obsessed with creating excellent central midfielders. It is possible that the 18-year-old Rico Lewis will become the next preeminent product of the Spaniard in this role. Coach Pep Guardiola highly appreciates Rico Lewis. Fabrizio Romano has reported that the new deal Rico Lewis agreed to in May is expected to be signed and official soon. This will be a long-term deal, as Pep Guardiola is a big fan of Lewis and his potential. The 18-year-old made 14 Premier League appearances for Manchester City in the 2022-23 season, as well as contributing to their Champions League triumph, making 2 Champions League appearances and scoring 1 goal. Lewis managed to gain a first-team starting spot after the World Cup break, playing as a right back and inverting into midfield to make a defensive midfield pivot at times. Pep then dropped Lewis back to the bench, handing him a few appearances again at the end of the season. At such a young age, Lewis needs to be managed carefully, and it can be assumed that Pep is trying to ease the 18-year-old in slowly, as he did with Phil Foden. Welcome back to City Insider. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Manchester City Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. After the 18-year-old player performed excellently and was rated the highest by the experts among the Man City players in the 2-1 victory over Bayern Munich a few days ago, the strategist had words of praise. Wings for him, he does everything as simple as reaching into his bag to get something. Pep insists that Rico Lewis is one of the smartest footballers he has ever known. Pep is not the type of person who likes to give compliments to others. During his military career, the players he praised for his intelligence were counted on his fingers and all became legends of world football. Can list a few names like Sergio Busquets, Andres Iniesta, Phillips Lahm, or David Silva. In an interview in the 2022-23 season, too impressed with the outstanding talent of Rico Lewis, Pep even called him Little Phillips Lahm. Lahm was originally a defender, but was often encouraged by Pep Guardiola to push forward and squeeze in the middle of the stone as a central midfielder. With Rico Lewis, the Spanish strategist acted even more aggressively. He almost turned this right-back player into a true central midfielder. Pep made even Man City fans last season mistakenly believe that Rico Lewis was trained to be a boss in the midfield. Pep Guardiola revealed the secret to Manchester City's re-energized Premier League title charge has been Rico Lewis. Lewis has made 12 starts in all competitions in his debut season, the majority coming during an intense period just after the World Cup when City struggled for rhythm. The teenager, in line for a new contract, operated in a dual role between right-back and central midfield as Guardiola found ways of reshaping City amid ongoing problems with Joao Cancelo, who subsequently left for Bayern Munich. Lewis made a major impact, particularly when altering the course of a slender 1-goal victory at Chelsea after a half-time introduction at Stamford Bridge. It's thanks to Rico. He helped us to understand what we had to do to play better and better, Guardiola said. The last 10 games he didn't play much, but without Rico this season, the step we made as a team would have been more difficult. That I'm pretty convinced about that. The movement he does makes many things fluid. After that Kyle Walker realizes John Stones playing in that position has been exceptional, but the other players have things Rico doesn't have: experience. This is why the team grows in many cases. Certainly in the 2023-24 season, after the departure of Ilkay Gundogan, Rico Lewis will be used more by Pep Guardiola in the central midfield role. It feels like the Spanish strategist has prepared every move to make this 18-year-old player a mainstay of Man City in the not-too-distant future. This is evident in the fact that Pep repeatedly urged the leader of the Etihad Stadium team to tie Rico Lewis. Then a few days ago, Man City convinced their young talent to agree to sign a 5-year contract, with an automatic extension of 1 year. In addition to his highly praised intelligence, Rico Lewis has other great qualities that make him a treasure in the eyes of his teacher Pep Guardiola. It was his maturity much more than his 18 years old, his excellent individual technique, his tactical sensibilities, his excellent reading of the game and very precise passes. Besides, Rico Lewis has very good physical strength. In particular, the young talent of Man City is stubborn, not bored with any opponent face-to-face, because he used to practice boxing for a very long time, in the tactical systems that Pep Guardiola built since starting his military career until now. The central midfield position has always been devoted to him. because in his opinion, it is the link that determines the success or failure of the home team in gaining control of the ball in the midfield, creating a premise for the ball phase. Under Pep's hands, many excellent central midfielders have been admired by the world, such as Sergio Busquets, Joshua Kimmich, Fernandinho, Rodri. It is not excluded that Rico Lewis will become the next great invention of Pep with this role. An extremely bright future is opening before Rico Lewis's eyes. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.